My name is Evan Brightsword, and I am just a poor, lowly farmer boy born in a rural village in... It's kind of like England, but it's not. It's not European. It's a place called Githikriel. My name is Evan Brightsword, and I thought that I was just a lowly farmer boy from the hills of Githikriel, but it turns out, after a visit to the Garden of Githul, I learned that I am the son, the bastard son of the king, King Githikriel. After finding out this information, my life was immediately in danger, and I also learned that I have secret good powers. Which is great, because there's also dark evil powers that people have, but not me. I have the power of good, and I can speak to dragons and wolves. But before we can get to all of that interesting stuff, we're gonna talk about 15 pages of backstory that is never gonna come up again. It's not really relevant, but it is relevant to explaining why we're allowed to be racist towards the warring nation. Over 1,000 years ago, there was a great war. Over 1,000 years ago, there was a great war called the Great War. The nation of Githikriel was attacked by the nation of France. This is never going to come up again. It just explains why we're allowed to be racist towards the French. We almost died. We almost died out, but we're doing fine right now. Except the French are still here. Now that the backstory is over, I gotta go into the woods and learn how to wield my magic. But while I'm there, I meet a pretty girl, and she's from the French nation. Oh no, and she wields dark magic, but she's hot. What am I gonna do? Well, obviously, we're gonna fall in love. But this is always going to be a wedge in our relationship because I've always been taught to be prejudiced towards the French. But also, she's distracting me from learning the power of the wolves, the good power, the power of the wolves. And my real dad still doesn't want to speak to me. What's up with that? And that's all good because I master the good magic. But then that pretty girl tells me that maybe I can master the dark magic too if I put my mind to it. And I don't want to be tempted by the dark magic, but like... it's super cool and stuff, and like, you get to wear black if you do it. But also, all of the villains engage in the dark magic, and they're also all French, and we hate the French. So what am I gonna do? Well, obviously, we gotta go on a quest, and we gotta travel all across this map that I included in the beginning of the book. You didn't look at the map? Well, it's time to look back at the map, okay? You gotta memorize the map. Why haven't you memorized the map? And the dictionary at the back of the book, okay? Okay, we are using words that you will never use again in your life. You have no reason to memorize all of this, but in order to understand this book, you have to go through these definitions. You have to study. This is essentially like a college course. This is a textbook. And obviously, while I'm walking through these woods and I'm traveling to all these different nations to get the whatever, you know, because I have to get the magical sword or something. So obviously, while I'm traveling, I'm going to be learning the definitions of all these different words. And you're gonna be lost if you don't look at that dictionary, so come on, hurry up. When I finally get to place name, I realize that my father's there, and actually I learned that he's evil, and that's why he hasn't been returning my calls. So I save the day by giving him a hug, and I learn the power of true love. And then I get to kiss the girl, and she's super hot, and it's super great, but also, like, she still likes dark magic, so, like, that's still a problem. And also there's like this evil dude who's kind of like vying for her attention at the same time. So that's definitely going to be a wedge issue in book 2, but like not right now. And mind you, like this book is 300 pages long. We could cover all of this stuff in book 1, but we need to have stuff for the sequel. I mean, we're spending so much time on these definitions. I get my magical necklace or sword or whatever. And I'm in the place that I need to be. And my father, he's actually kind of cool now that I've spoken to him finally. But he's still evil a little bit. And I gotta teach him the ways of the good magic. So I teach him the ways of the good magic. And he's like, whoa, you have tenderized my heart. And I'm like, I know. And we fall in love and shit. It's like, it's a heartwarming story. And then I meet all those wolves I've been talking to this whole time. It's not a furry book. This is not furry stuff. Okay, they're actual wolves. They stand on all 4 feet, okay? And I engage in so many battles, and they're so medieval. I get so much sword play. I love swords. Did I mention I love swords? And I love wolves, and I love talking to birds, magical birds that tell me secrets. They love telling me secrets. And I think all is resolved in the plot, but no, it isn't, because the French, they're still around, and they found me. And they want to convert me to the dark magic. And I'm like, no, please, I'm a good magic guy. That's all I do is good magic, even though you guys, like, look fucking sick, bro. Like, all your outfits are fucking great, you know? And I'm just wearing, like, a tunic, and you guys are just rocking it. But I cannot. I have to resist temptation. I cannot be evil. I cannot let the evil consume my heart, no. But it does. The evil touches my heart, and I'm like, no. But I managed to fight it off with my cool swords. Wow, I'm so awesome. And then I talk to the creatures of the woods, and they're like, you did such a good job. And the French are like, maybe we'll lay off hating your people for a while. And I'm like, sick, racism solved. But I still hate orcs. They're ugly. And you know what we do with ugly people? We cast them in the river. We cast them in the river. But just when you thought this book was ending, sequel bait, uh-oh, we end on a cliffhanger. Because like I said, we have 300 pages, but we can't wrap it up. We can't fit everything in this one book. We gotta go to like 75 books. And while we're talking about backstory, let's also reserve another 10 pages for talking about, I don't know, how the government works. It's just a monarchy. You know what a monarchy is, right? It's exactly like that, but I'm going to explain it as if you have no idea. You've never seen this before. With me on my brave epic journey is my comic relief character as well as my mentor. Can't forget about those guys. Can't forget about the comedian who's just along for the ride. Why is he there? I don't know. Does his plotline get resolved? Never. He does not have a character arc. He's just funny the whole time. And then in the woods, I meet a witch, and she says, let me play you the song of my people. And it sounds like that, and it's beautiful, and it makes me cry. But it has magic in it! Oh no! And I learned a new magic spell. And you know, by the time the book ends, and by the time this series ends, I am literally gonna be more powerful than God. I am literally gonna be like above Sun Wukong, the Monkey King, if you didn't know Chinese mythology. By the end of this book series, I'm basically gonna be Goku. Wow, that was so brave and epic. Also, exclusively for this book, I have invented a language that only I speak. Actually, I've invented like 6 languages that only I speak. I am translating words into this language that would be perfectly understandable if they were just in English. I've replaced the word bird. Stay tuned for book 2. What's gonna happen? Who knows? Who knows? Maybe I'm gonna get married. Maybe I'm not. Maybe the darkness is gonna consume my heart. Who knows? I don't know.